Hello, my name's James. I'm a portrait photographer from Portsmouth in the UK. You've probably not heard of me. Oh, the problem with men. How to pose men. That's what this seminar is all about today. We have brought in studio today a real man. Here he is. Look, it's Stephen Wolfe. He's an actual man. And quite often when we're teaching photography, we ask what photographers want to learn. Posing's normally quite high up on the list, but also how to pose men. What do we do to pose men? In my mind, there are 5 tricks that we can employ, tips that we can employ to pose men effectively. For this seminar, we're not going to focus too much on lighting. I've just set up one of my Elinchrom lights up here with a massively wide octabox so that we get light spilling all over the image, shooting at ISO 100, f8, around about 160th of a second here. So nice and simple. And we've dressed Stephen here in a very, very stylish white shirt with a burgundy waistcoat there, cool shoes and cool trousers there. So we've got, or slacks as you might call them, I assume. There we go, we're in. We're doing the, that's it, we're doing the transatlantic agreement. Here we go. Yeah, posing men. So for this workshop, we're just gonna do a whole full length workshop on how we would pose a guy full length to get different looks and different styles. There are 5 tips we can employ. The first tip we're going to employ is to try and create angles. Create angles and create shapes. Shapes within the picture could be very, very strong and dynamic. Within a lot of full-length photography, we're looking at strong triangles that we kind of see subliminally that create strong shapes in the picture. Stephen's just going to stand here for me, just exactly as he is there, with the hands in that position. Don't move a thing. Literally stood straight up and down, looking straight towards me here. We'll take a picture here just so we can see how this looks in camera. It's going to look amazing. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so the straight up and down picture, there is a sort of triangle shape in there, but ultimately it's really quite straight up and down. It's really quite linear. And having the hands posed here as well just kind of looks a little bit awkward, looks a little bit off. So the first thing we need to do is we need to turn to create some sort of shape and form. And the way we're going to turn is we're going to turn towards the light here. So 45 degrees turn this way there for me if you can, Stephen. That is perfect. Now that means that his face is facing towards the light here with that slight turn. The body is now at 45-degree angle towards me. The feet, we're going to go a little bit wider apart if we can. So just bring your feet just a little bit wider apart. Posing starts from the feet up. If your feet aren't in the right position, you can't get in effective shapes and effective poses. So giving him a nice, comfortable pose there. And now we're going to just bring the hands into the pockets here for me, just to the side. Perfect. And he's going to just look towards me there. So now the shoulders are facing this way towards the light, but the head has turned. So if you look towards me and now look back towards where I'm going to be over there, the head has turned and the head is giving us a slightly different angle in this shot. We're going to take this shot here and just compare it to the previous one. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice and simple there. So now we have a little bit more shape. We have a few more triangles working in this shot here. So not only do we have the triangle from the feet coming up, we have this little triangle here, and we can see a little bit more interesting shape and form in the face because we've turned the head away from where the shoulders are. So tip number 1, look at creating your angles and creating your shapes within the composition first up. Tip number 2 is to look at the jawline in the picture. Strong, rugged, chiseled jawline is always quite effective in these sorts of shots. Guys will be worried about how their jaw looks in the picture. And I've been at weddings and things like that where you see people lift their heads up like this to try and eliminate, because they think that they're stretching out the jawline that way. But by doing this and by lifting the chin up, all we're really doing is just creating one massive jaw looking into the picture, an unnatural eye line, but also we're shooting up into the nose, and we don't want that. We want to look down and look something similar like that. So in this instance, what we're going to do is we're actually going to get you just to pose so you're straight on towards me here. Bring the hands into the pockets again, and we're just going to turn the head towards the light this way. Just that little simple turn is going to give us that stronger jawline, eyes back towards me. Perfect. And now what I need you to do, same place again, but you're just going to bring the chin down even further. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Just there. Perfect. Now we're going to turn the body away from me this way, so keep and move the feet with it. That's perfect. And now you can really lean in with this back shoulder there for me and look, there you go. Perfect. Chin down, just a fraction, 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. And with that, you see that one there where the jawline has come down into the collar there, has created a really, really strong jawline in there for us for Stephen. When he turns a little bit more this way as well, so turn even more towards the light this way, that's perfect. Now open the shoulders up, oh, look at that. Come back this way. There. Now, if we come in nice and close, this is what we're looking for. We want to see, although this is nearly a profile, and if it was a profile, looking straight towards there, we can only see one eye. When we come in even closer, and we're going to ask Stephen to turn towards us this way, there, we want it at that point there where the nose has come back inside that back cheek and where we can see both eyes and we can see the strong jawline. Now we're going to ask you just to move your chin forward just a little bit like that and turn the head even more towards me. There. And that is a strong jawline for our full length, or almost full length. Bring this back foot out a little bit. There. There's your strong jawline now. 3, 2, 1, go. And you'll see here, if we come back towards me, we'll see that my position here for that shot was quite low. We've come down really low here to give Stephen the elevated position so that he looks bigger in the photo, emphasizing everything, including at the top of the food chain, that jawline there. That's tip number 2. Point number 3 is we're trying to give the hands something to do with blokes. If we come back this way, so you're facing straight towards me, the first pose Stephen did was this. So there we go. Again, you'll see that in like groom lineups. Grooms won't really know what to do with their hands. That's the second worst thing they can do. The first worst thing they can do is this, just there, like that, or like that, or anything like that without actually giving them a job. If we do this one round here, it just looks like kind of like soldiers on parade, really. It's not really giving us any shape or any form in the picture there. A couple of tips that we can do to give the hands a job and give them something to do. This little button here that's just above that button there, I want you to pretend that you're just doing it up there. Simple. This does a couple of things there, looking straight towards me. There. It gives the hand a placement, it gives them something to do, it creates shape within the hands, it looks natural, but it also creates those gaps underneath the arms that redefine the shape of the waistline and make things look a little bit different. If we turn Stephen so he's facing towards the light here, and now we're just going to pretend that you're amending the strap on your watch. There we go, straight away. We've given him something to do, and if he looks towards me here and moves the head down this way, we have a cool full length shot with a nice triangle with the hands having something to do. And then if in this pose, in this position, we ask Stephen to put his hands in his pockets, go all the way down like that, perfect. If the hands are straight in the pockets like that, if they take us literally, there we go, we can see that we've almost created that pencil shape again of straight up and straight down. It's not great. So a very, very simple hack, I suppose, for this one is just to get them to pose up with the thumbs just coming out the top of the pockets there. So the thumbs are just touching rather than down like that. So they're just touching so we can still see the hands there. And what that's done is that's created the shape in here and the bend in the arm. Generally with regards to posing, if it's a knee, it's an ankle, if it's a wrist, if it's a shoulder, or if it's an elbow, if it has a bend, bend it. We're going to take this full length shot here with the chiseled jawline jutting out this way. Just look, oh, there we go. He's just done it there. Perfect. 3, 2, 1, go. And there we have it. Full length pose there by giving the hands something to do. Tip number 4 is we're going to amend the weight in the picture. Shift the weight so that we're giving clear direction about where we want our model and how we want our model to stand. Facing straight towards me again here for me if we can. Hands on the outside there for me if we can. And we're just going to bring the feet even wider apart. Okay, that's cool. So we've created a triangle there by having the feet really, really wide apart, but the weight is evenly balanced between the two. So we're almost straight up and down there for us with that shot. This time we're just going to ask you just to bring the weight just slightly to one side, one hand in the pocket on the straight leg, and then that hand nice and loose down there where the weight's been shifted. Looking straight towards me, 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. And now we've created a much more dynamic and much more interesting shape and form in that photograph. Next up, we're going to get Stephen to turn so he's facing towards this light again there for me, and again, evenly spaced there with that. Keep that other hand nice and loose, that's good. Same pose, we haven't moved a hand. Hand's still in the pocket there for me. Even weight on both legs if we can. Perfect. Bring this back foot out again there for me. Give me a bit more shape, that's good, hold that there. Chin down, just a fraction to create that jawline, remember. Now move that weight onto the back leg there for me if we can. That's it, oh, that's good. And now move it onto the front leg, barbershop quartet style. There we go, 3, 2, 1. Two completely different looks there, just by shifting that weight from back to front. And that little shift of weight is going to give you different moods and different impressions and different emphases on what you're trying to get across from your picture, from like a inquisitive looking towards the camera one to a slightly more confident looking away from the camera one. And tip number 5, the final tip, is to use the props and use the environment. That doesn't necessarily mean having an amazingly big studio with all sorts of different lights and different backdrops. Remember, this is just a one light workshop, real simple things. It could be using a simple thing like a stool or a chair or a shelf or anything really to give something within the environment for us to pose with. What we're going to be using is a block that we've made ourselves in studio. And we're going to bring this into the picture here on this side. So you're going to come around this side for me, Stephen. We're going to place it in there so it's at a slight angle so that when it comes into the picture we can see the light side and we can see the dark side. And we're just going to get Stephen just to use it to put your hand on, rest against, do something different with. Let's just see. Oh, there we go. And look, he's naturally come in here. I was supposed to show you this, but he's naturally done it. Feet apart there for me. But that's the interesting thing. He stood there in a way that felt comfortable. And generally speaking, if your customers, if your clients, if the models you're shooting feel comfortable and are sat in a naturally comfortable position, they're gonna look comfortable in the picture. This one here looks like I've asked Stephen to stand there next to the box and put his hand on the box. That's what that photo looks like, okay? It's a prop that doesn't really have any need to be there because it's literally just stood there just with his hand on it. The minute he uses it to put some of his weight onto it, it has a purpose, because then we'll be able to lean into a position that if that box wasn't there, probably wouldn't be possible. So by changing the feet as you were, James Bond style like that, really emphasizing the point of the shoe, that's good. So it's giving him even less surface area to stand on there by making sure that point of the shoe there. So we're really only balancing on the one foot, which means that this hand is even more essential there to the balance of the portrait. The hand is in a great position there for us on the side. I'm going to ask you to come even further out this way a little bit so that we're really leaning into the block there for me, and we really have to kick the hip in there for us to make that happen. That's good, well done, hold that there. Looking straight towards me, that's lovely. And now turn your head so you're looking off camera this way, and really turn the head so we can see the jawline. That's good, eyes back towards me. So angle, shape, hands, form, jawline, all in the one picture, and we've created something that has style, that has form, and that looks a little bit different from posing from a masculine perspective. Those are 5 tips that you can employ on how to photograph and pose men. There's a billion videos online on how to photograph women, as we know, and there's loads on this channel that you can do. I'm going to do that whole bit again. So there's 5 tips that you can take into your next shoot on how to pose men. Stephen, look again, oh God, stay there. But this is my point, right? We were just doing the outro and he's just come into a really, really comfortable position, right? So if you let people do things and then just photograph that, this is super comfortable for him there. Hold that there, 3, 2, turn the head towards me even more there for me. 3, 2, chin down, and that is the thumbnail for this video. Well done. See, like, so sometimes you can affect someone's pose too much to put them in an unnatural position. He's just posing a brilliantly natural position there. Tip number 6, let people do things. That's the 6th tip. Stephen, have you enjoyed this experience today?
Absolutely, 100%.
Fantastic. So remember, that's how we pose men. We're looking for shape, we're looking for something to do with hands, we're looking for the jawline, we're looking for the angles that we can create, and we're looking at influencing the image by utilizing simple props to affect different things. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, make a comment below, tell us what your favorite image from this session was, and you can go to nofussmus.com and have a look at some of our training content on there. What 3 words would you describe the internet to do? What 3 words would you use for the internet to do today with their day to make their day even better?
To make their day even better, 3 words. Like and share. Like and share.
That's amazing, all the best.